We begin. Alright, so I'm going to do some stuff here. Essentially, we have to continue on down the line. Now, there's a point where we'll be able to basically just a bunch of fights in a row. And I've already done those fights, so we'll skip some of the problem. Essentially, what I was trying to do was get through this part where we're stuck, where we can't do anything else, and then go back through and do some of the quest up there. But I didn't finish that until recently, and I never got a chance to actually go and do the questing. So, we're going to basically have to fight through like 3 to 5 fights, and then we won't have to fight through the other like 4 or 5 fights. So, let's do it, I guess. It's like 30 degrees in the room right now. It's quite warm. Possibly even hotter. So, if I can get the room to cool off even a little bit, you know, let the thing run for 20 minutes, half hour, and then kill it. And it brings the room down to like 22, and then we do it again, you know, it's fine. I'm trying to get all my jobs done. No, I did. I got everything done that I could yesterday. Now we're just waiting on when the person's actually going to be coming to actually do the, basically running a direct power line for the stupid thing, what's it called? The, words. The air conditioner needs its own dedicated power line, essentially, is what we're looking at here. Alright. You... Something's not quite right here. What can I do to tie everything in? There we go. Now everybody's tied together. Yeah, it's pretty warm. It's actually a little, probably, maybe, I don't know. It might be a little bit cooler outside, but there's no airflow, so it would just... Anyway, so it's very possible that the stream's just going to shut down randomly for no reason, because it'll pop the breaker. But again, I think it might be the air conditioner overheating as opposed to just drawing too much power. But I don't know. Either way, we're going to give it about 10 minutes, maybe 15, and then we're going to turn it off, and then we'll try to coast on that for a while. I've been okay today from about 2:30, no, even before that, probably about 1 o'clock on, maybe even 12:30. Didn't have the air conditioner on, I just turned it back on now. So, yeah, we'll see how all this goes. Alright, let's go ahead and do some cool stuff. Where's the big guy? There he is. And impulse. Double edge. Rush? Not rush. Power attack. That's the one. Alright. Too many recordings already haven't been ruined. It's about 3 now. I'm trying to figure out how to do this. And then the extension cord I got just, it smells like electrical hot, like almost like an electrical fire smell. Not quite, but there was definitely a different scent, and apparently the extension cord is not going to be strong enough to be able to hold all of the power. So we nixed that idea, and we're just sitting here. Well, I'm just sitting here in the heat. Well, not right this second. Right now my legs are getting nice and cool. Oh boy. I do not like the fact that... Uh-oh. Really? Please live. Oh, she lived. Oh. Woo. Okay. Cool. Okay, well that was messy. know who I have hooked up. But whoever it is, I suppose it'll be fine. There we go. Everybody is happy at this point. That's fine. Let's do it. So how's it going for you, Liven? You feeling a little bit more lively today? You're pretty wiped out yesterday. And it sucks that I waited so long or what have you with the Sega. I did get the Sega. Alright. So I went to their press website and I registered to become, you know, part of their press thing. And they accepted my registration. And then I think I told you all this, but if I didn't, I'm just going to reiterate here. The only left in the fridge is cold beer, which is for visitors. But tonight, you are partaking. Okay, there you go. So you go on the site, and it shows some of the games that are coming out. And oddly, the Shining Force game isn't one of them. I don't know why, but fine. And there's a button up there that says request review copies. Doesn't do anything. It's a dead link. I don't know if that means that they don't do review copies, but that's the way the page is laid out, or what the case is. But either way, like I said, it is a dead link, and that kind of isn't great, for lack of a better term. So, unfortunately, that didn't work. But they do have the PR contacts there, so I did go ahead and email the PR contact. Oh dear. I changed your facing. That kind of throws everything slightly out of whack. Not tremendously. She's got a lot of SP or AP or whatever, so we're just going to go ahead and throw everything. Oh, we paralyzed it. That's probably good. So I sent them an email saying, you know, I wanted to introduce myself. I'm not sure how stuff works working with you moving forward. Oftentimes I'll get emails with I'll get emailed press releases that have information of upcoming games, trailers, assets, and things of that nature, like screenshots, logos, and whatnot, in addition to the ability to request review copies. And then I went on to say, you know, obviously I've been, like, a lot of people like Nintendo, and yes, I am a PlayStation guy now, but when it was Nintendo versus Sega, I was always a Sega fan. So, been a Sega fan for a long time. Had every console except for the handheld Game Gear. Every console that Sega put out. I even had the Sega Channel back in the day, which was awesome. And I've already covered several of the games that they've published through Creative Assembly and Amplitude Studios, I believe it's called. So, you know, big fan. Only send me RPGs, review, etc. So yeah, I'm just trying to figure out exactly how it works with them as far as their, like, review copy. Do they give review copies, or what is the deal moving forward? So hopefully we get some more details soon. That is the ideal situation, but you never know. You never know. Oops. You never know exactly what's going to happen. I should do this differently. Fire into blast into Sonic Ray. Should be enough. So I'm hoping, and then I also mentioned, I said, you know, I don't know whether or not you do review copies, but I'm definitely interested in. There's a Valkyria Chronicles 4 that'll be releasing on, I think, PC and the PlayStation. But even if it's just the PlayStation, that's fine. And of course, Shining Resonance Refrain is releasing. So I said I'm definitely interested in those. If you guys do have review copies, I would be, you know, I would be thrilled, or whatever the case was. Anyway, it was worded much better than my ramblings right now, because I actually had time to think about it and put it in. However, the problem is, of course, the PR person's out until Monday, which is the 9th. The game releases on the 10th. So hopefully she gets back to me tomorrow at a, like, I don't want to say a reasonable time, because if she gets back to me tomorrow at all, I think that's reasonable, but at a early time, so I can still, you know, make plans if I have to get the game before release, so on and so forth. to get the pre-order bonuses or what have you. Because you've already taken care of me, Liven. And if it doesn't work out, or if it does work out and I do get it sent to me from Sega, and you know they're able to capitulate to my needs, you know, they're able to fulfill my request, I'll save what you sent me and I'll put that toward Dragon Quest 11. So thank you. Either way, it will be used for the greater good of the greater channel. What? I don't know. It's fine. So there you go. That is the plan moving forward. The edge is already off. I think I'm just going to kill the air conditioner right now. There it goes. Thank you for not exploding, room. Thank you. Alright. I'm good. I can do a double-edged power attack. Solo off of my guy. So either way, buddy, you've taken care of me, and I appreciate that. It is definitely a big help. No, we're not going to use her. I'm doubting she's got the power to kill anyone. Even with her double needle. Oh, Lord, my vitality. Alright, I'm just going to let everybody else sit, even if they have AP. Not a lot of them do, but even if they did, just let it sit. And let's just link everybody. I think everybody's pretty much linked anyway, except her. Or I gotta just face her this way. There we go. Now everybody should be linked. Alright. Oh, I forgot you were gonna run like a coward. It's fine. I fought these things enough. I should have known that they were gonna do that. I think. Oh, I think if we're lucky, she'll be right at the max range. But nope. And she'll even get to poke us from there. It's not great. Alright, Dragon's Dogma will end tonight as far as YouTube coverage. It'll be my last episode going up tonight, so that's cool. Yeah, something like that. I'd go one more and get everybody. There we go. Everybody linked again. So that'll be fun to put that down, and then we'll be able to start uploading these. Now, unfortunately, I will not be able to monetize any of these, but still. It's a game I've wanted to play, and oftentimes games that I want to play, I only have time to play if I'm actually doing coverage of it, so why not? Alright, I'm not going to do the super overkill. That should be more than enough to take care of it. In fact, just him alone, yeah, would have been more than enough. First look video will be going up shortly after the stream. I say that. It'll be after the stream. It's already like on YouTube. I just haven't put the information in yet. I've already created the thumbnail, so I am ahead of the curve a little bit. So basically I'm about a half day behind right now, where I want to be. Alright, to the Manuagua Hamanagrama place of things and stuff and junk. Alright, we're going to continue saving. Alright. A thousand thanks for your help. I fear I would be dead now if not for you. Why were you being chased? I confess, I was hoping perhaps you would know the answer to that question. Where did you get that bracelet? This? Merely a memento of my mother. Why? Is there a problem? My stunning vision of beauty? Leo, he holds a bracelet of the Covenant. Is this true? Just a moment, milady. I told you this is merely a memento of my mother. Be that as it may, that bracelet is why you were attacked. She has weird eyes. What? Please, my darling, explain. The Bracelet of the Covenant was the most powerful of all Dark Lord Summerill's possessions. He owned many other magical trinkets, but even taken together, they could not approach the power of the bracelet. The power of that bracelet gave Summerill the power of the gods. But much of his power is bound in it, and without the bracelet, he is not at full strength. Summerill seeks the Bracelet of the Covenant above all else. I'll summarize it for you, Ivan. I beat up a bunch of stuff, kill a weird turkey monster, a griffin, a couple dragons, and GG. There's a little more to it, but that's essentially the basics of it. Then, was the beast Summerill? I think not. Even without the Bracelet of the Covenant, Summerill is very powerful. That creature was powerful, but it was nothing next to Summerill. Well, one thing is certain, that bracelet is quite dangerous. Give it back. Whoa, she's angry. That is the problem. It won't come off. What kind of fools do you take us for? Borg 9, help him take it off. Oh dear. What are you doing? I'm telling the truth. Don't hurt me. I'm a delicate flower. That hurts. Stop it, please. Master, he tells the truth. The bracelet cannot be removed. Now that I think about it, I do remember Grandpa saying something about the cave, or this cave, about how it held a great treasure that would curse anyone who tried to take it. Then it would seem you have heard of it. It appears that the bracelet itself was intended to protect the bearer from curses. But Summerill cursed it so that once worn, it cannot be removed. To keep it from being sealed away from him again. Yes. It seems the seal has been sufficient to keep it from being found. Until now. That must mean that the elves... No, the High Elves created a very powerful seal. Indeed they did, but it can only hide the bracelet from the forces of darkness. Fair play. The solution is simple. We seal him away with the bracelet. She's so cold. Whoa, just a moment there, young lady. I'm not some sort of human sacrifice. You have made your bed, now you must sleep in it. Just cold. You see, you must understand, I have an excellent reason. I was going to return it once I was finished. I swear. You wouldn't happen to be from the frontier, would you? Did you come here looking for the power to fight Gridamus? There is little point to debating what is done. Daishana, is there no way to free the bracelet? If it has been cursed by Summerill, our choices are few. We can either destroy the bracelet, or seal away Summerill's power. Either way, we will be inconvenienced. There is, of course, a much simpler way of dealing with this problem of attachment. That would certainly allow us to remove the bracelet, but I do not think it would solve our problem. Now that we know the bracelet is here, and that the seal is an absolute, we cannot hide it from the eyes of Summerill. If only we could simply destroy it. But if it were that easy, it would have been destroyed already, not sealed away. You speak the truth. In any event, this is a discussion for another time. We must return to Regulus. We should keep as far from the road as possible. I would like to lose the monster, but I am more concerned that he does not harm civilians. All that remains is to choose our route. Shortest route to Regulus, as far south as possible, or go along the Castros Mountains. I think we're going to go through the mountains. The link gauge moved toward light. Yeah. Hey. Sweet. They liked that choice, I guess. It is a short detour, but I think the Castros Mountains will provide the best route. That area's difficult terrain will be to our advantage in losing our pursuers. I apologize, lords and ladies, for the trouble I have caused you. It is little, I know, but I promise I will fight with you against Gradamas when the time comes. Of course you will. We will be counting on you. Your trust in me is well placed. I will show them no mercy. Yeah, Golden Leo. That is your real name. Okay, our party is the way it should be. Do you want to move to Indignant Hill? Is that really what this place is called? I'm down with Indignant Hill. Oh my goodness, what is going on? Guys, I don't know how well the stream is going for you. I am apparently having quite a bit of loss. My frames are dropped. Well, they were. Apparently my internet's going a little flaky today, so I apologize if the stream quality is not up to its normal standards. Not that I particularly know what those standards are, mind you, but, you know, standards. Okay. Yeah. Okay. And now everybody's linked. Everybody. Alright, we got 2 crabs and 2 werewolves. Not great for us. Alright, I think we have to deal with our crab problem first, probably. So I'm going to say we start with a Sonic Wave Blast. And then we go with Thunder and Impulse. Might be overkill, might not be. Let's see. Oh, it is slightly overkill. Darn. People are asleep today, or they're doing something different. There's nobody here. Except you, Liven, and I don't mean you're a nobody. I'm saying normally we have a few more people than just you and I. Just you and I in unity. Alright, we're gonna wound the crab. Alright, we're gonna slightly wound the crab, I guess. It's actually pretty underwhelming. We were probably gonna survive this, maybe? It's like you're gonna magic up. It's okay. Oh dear. Oh dear. The crab's not gonna hit her? No. Ooh, and he missed. Well, this is a win all around for us. Okay, and we're gonna go with a heal, and there it is. So straight up, we're looking good. Alright, stand by. And let's get this done. Sure, we'll go with that. Okay, move you there. I think I'm gonna move you here. Alright, everybody should be linked. AFK for 5 minutes, I'm gonna be all alone. Don't leave me. It's okay. I will probably survive. No guarantee. I can't promise anything, but I will probably be okay. Alright, I'm gonna say fire off of the trick hit, rush, ascension. I'm gonna say thunder. Maybe we throw in an impulse to boot, and we call it a day. I think I may have oversold this. We'll see. No? Maybe? Nope, just enough. Alright. A good combination of skills that pay the bills. Do I have anything left? I do not. Alright, you are donezo. You are going to trick hit, rush, sonic wave, power attack, double edge. We'll see what that does. Sounds messy. I think we're going after the Crabling. Not a tremendous amount of damage. Those two do not hit very hard. I do, however. And with our giant Hadouken Fireball of Doom, it was enough. Alright, what do we have left? We have a blast and a sonic wave and I guess a power attack. I'll call it a day. Boom, boom, boom. Very nice. If the power attack lands, we've done it and we got rid of the biggest threats that we've been faced with. And it looks like indeed we did. I am pretty happy about it. Go ahead, buff yourselves up. Speed and agility and cheese and all the other things that you buff. And then prepare to meet your doom. Messu. Alright, it is time, ladies and gentlemen. It is time. Okay. It's fine. Alright. Everybody gonna move. Oh, they didn't move where I thought they were going to. That's interesting. Very interesting. Stand by. Stand by. Stand by. Stand by. It's go time. Alright, your Dazzle Blade should be more than enough. But we'll throw a rush in there too. Alright, Dazzle Blade Rush. Go! Yeah, you died. Yeah. Alright, next up. It's time to end you. Sonic Wave. Sonic Blast. Rush. Not Rush. Blast. Firewall. Impulse. Trick Hit. Rush. Power Attack. And double, no. Out, no. Oh, fine. Power Attack, Double Edge. That's it. Let's do it. And you're already dead. But don't worry, there's more. Massive damage! It's actually not going to be that much because she's resistant to magic. Yeah, pretty weak actually. However, it's going to leave a mark. And don't worry, there's more. I wonder where Kara's at. Are you in sneaky mode, Tech Man? Or are you actually here? Or are you not actually here? Okay, so pretty good demo. Bye. Thanks for stopping by. Yay, level ups. 4 level ups. Alright, we'll go with another 2 points into strength, 1 into Vit. Whatever you say, buddy. So we go 3 into strength, make you a bit more powerful. Go 2 into agility. 1 into Luke. 4 into int. All the int. Okay, another save before the gloom and the doom hit. Oh, there's an event here. Alright, very important storyline stuff. Hopefully Liven's back. Aren't you curious, Login, as to why our Lord is sending troops to the frontier now? It was going to have to be done eventually. I assume he has decided now is the time. Our Lord has changed since Melchior brought that man here. Could it be a coincidence? Perhaps. Weren't you once opposed to sending our armies into the frontier? Only when the land is united shall we have true power. There is no place for the feelings of the individual. Without pain and sacrifice, there can be no progress. A country is not built on good intentions. Is that the pain of Gridamus, or that of the innocent people that live on the frontier? Wanting to live a good life and putting forth effort to achieve that is a wonderful thing. But how can it be right if that good life is built on the sacrifices of others? What of the elves and the Syrium? Do they not deserve a good life as well? This is what the people want. And why do they want this? What do they, with their ordinary lives, know of the frontier? Do the people really think that we have to fight because they are in danger? Largan, will you join me? I cannot. My own feelings are unimportant. I have orders, and they must be carried out. A soldier can ill afford individuality. An army cannot function if every soldier fights based on his own desires. A country is no different. It must yield to the will of its people. The will of a king is an embodiment of the will of the people, which in turn is the basis for a greater consensus. I see. Can I leave this defense in your hands? What do you intend to do? I will take my men to Zelzagun in advance of our main force. Do as you wish. Alright, you hate and love Amazon, and you're back, okay? And you needed a charger for work. They'll be able to deliver it tomorrow. That's pretty impressive. We'll order it on a Sunday and they can deliver it tomorrow. Kudos. Thank you, says Elaine. I have preparations to make. Goodbye, my friend. So she must be the third choice for us to romance. Elaine, what do you hope to accomplish with so few men? To have a plan is to limit yourself to that plan. I am doing what I feel is right, even if that means my blade and yours will meet someday. And she walks off, apparently. Okay. You are as stubborn as your father. Be careful, Elaine. Yeah, I know. I know, Liven. I'm always one that prefers a good price to... I don't know. I don't even know if I want to say it's convenient, because honestly, ordering stuff from a local store is usually not only like absurdly expensive, but takes way longer. And I don't know, it's just a whole bunch of stuff that you get to jump through. So many hoops, and I think I still prefer it the other way. I still think I prefer it ordering from something that gets it to you at a reasonable time, and you know, it's not super expensive. I don't know, times have changed, I guess, with people living their lives next to each other as opposed to part of each other's lives. I've always been more of a private person in general, which is weird that I'm doing what I'm doing, obviously, but I'm more of a private person. I don't generally go out with large groups of friends or go hang out in just random places to meet people. I'm not super sociable. I mean, I can be. I mean, I don't have any problems in that department at all, but that's just not who I am. I'd rather just be alone with my close people that I have, and then that's it. So knowing business owners and things of that nature, just, it's not really something that I'm a part of. So to me, I don't want to say necessarily raised on that, but it's not something that I really encountered or I put a lot of value in. Not saying it's not valuable, not saying anybody who does is stupid or anything of that nature. It's just a different mindset, a different way, you know. We shop around all the time when we go to order stuff. Say we go to order something online because you just can't buy like computer parts or anything of that nature. Like, you can't build your own computer going locally and getting stuff. Unless, again, you want to pay astronomical prices and wait for weeks and possibly months to get all the parts and everything else. It's not done. So you go online if you want to build your own computer, and you shop around from like Amazon to Newegg to Tiger Direct, and there's a few other sites, and you try to find your best deal. I'm all about that. I'm all about going, okay, this is where, you know, just like with Steam, Humble Bundle, GOG, and all those things, there's various different sites that at certain times have different sales on. Why pay more if you don't have to? Money is precious, right? Or what you can get with the money, I guess, is precious. So the more it's stretched out and the more you can get with it, the better off it is. Like, the farther it goes, I guess. So I don't know. It's a tough thing, because having no shops and no businesses or anything like that would also be terrible. Like, I don't want that either, but I don't know. It's just a very weird... It's a weird time we live in, I guess you could say. Kerrigan Road West. A couple more battles and then we can skip a whole bunch of them. You lost your version of Radio Shack? Yeah, we don't... What do we have? I think we lost Radio Shack here, and I think we lost actual Radio Shack even in Florida, but I could be wrong. I think it got bought out. And there was a place called Future Shop here, which was essentially like a Radio Shack or something along those lines. Or more I guess more like a Best Buy. I don't know if you guys have Best Buys in England, Britain, whatever you guys call it. Sorry, UK. You explained the differences last time. I think they're all correct, because you literally live inside of England, so all of them work. Great Britain, Britain, England. I mean, it all works for you, right? The United Kingdom. So it's if people were what, Irish or Scottish or the others, those are the ones where that might not actually apply. Anyway, long story short, Best Buy, let me know if you guys have Best Buy, and then that just makes it easier to explain. If you don't, a little bit more difficult to explain. There we go, that's what I want. Let's get you here. Yeah. No, is it there? There we go, that works. And then you move there. And everybody's happily linked once again. Alright, cool. Yeah, I don't know. I've also been in situations where I've had experts give us advice, and like we had this one guy. You've been around obviously as long as I have, or what have you, right? Or maybe even a little bit longer. So you remember back in the day, you had like the Nintendo, the Sega, Genesis, Super Nintendo game systems of that nature. If you had them, they had the little coaxial cable thing that you would screw your actual cable wire into, and then there was a bypass, and then you would screw that into the TV, and that's how you could have like your cable going through it, and it connected to your TV and all that stuff, right? So the coax cable was what you were using. Then I think maybe it was with the Sega Saturn. I'm not sure, I don't remember, but I think the one I do remember for sure was the PlayStation. With the PlayStation, they switched over from the coax cable to the RBG cables, which was red, blue, green, but I suppose it's the video, which was yellow, and then the two audio, the right and left speaker, which is white and red. It was those three cables, right? AV cables, you want to call them that? I guess that's also a good phrase for them. Anyhow, we went and we got a PlayStation. I don't remember where we got it from, but this guy was in line, and you know, we've already looked at the connectors and everything else, and we're like, okay, we can connect it through a VCR. We can connect it through. There were a few different options that we had of connecting this thing, so we already had it all planned out. So this guy's over there. He's like, "Oh, you guys are gonna need," and he was like a Southern hick. "You guys are gonna need a special adapter." We're like, excuse me? And he's like, "Oh yeah, that's not like none of them video game systems before. You gonna need a special adapter." And okay, so we're succeeding at not laughing, even though we think the guy's an idiot. And you know, he's not wrong. Most people would need, like, we were pretty tech savvy in our day, my father and myself. So we already knew what we needed. And he's like, "Yeah, I tried when I got home. I tried hooking that to my TV. It didn't work. You're gonna need a special adapter to hook it to the TV." "Well, did you try hooking it to a VCR?" "I told you, I tried to hook it to my TV." "No, a VCR. It's got the." He just didn't understand. He's like, I'm saving you a trip. I'm saving you a trip. You're gonna need a special adapter." We didn't get the adapter. Sorry, the special adapter, and it was fine. Everything worked. It was just funny. So that was an expert opinion there. And I think the person who was selling it was telling us the same thing, like, yeah, you're going to need an adapter for this to work, and so on and so forth. And at the time, I had an old Commodore 64 monitor, right? And it actually had those three plugins too. It was like a 13-inch back in the day when like that was not a terrible tiny thing. Like when that was like, oh, okay, that's normal, right? So I had a 13-inch Commodore 64 monitor with the AV cable plug-in. So I plugged it into both my VCR and my monitor, and it worked for both of them, so it was great. But it's just funny. That's one of the stories that my dad and I will go back to. Hey, you're going to need a special adapter for that. Like, you know, he's going to go out on the grill and cook with he's got one of the little, what are they called? The forks? I don't know what they're called. The forks that you stab like a hot dog or a sausage with, or meat or whatever, and you flip it over. I'm like, oh, you're going to need a special adapter for that one. It's just funny. It's one of those inside stories you had to be there, or it made a little bit more sense, it was a little bit more funny. But still, people are crazy. That was one of the more memorable / oddly enjoyable moments of just dumb people being dumb, I guess. Yeah, I guess. It's gonna screw everything up. I don't want to do that. How much fire is gonna do? Let's try it. That did not do much at all. Did a little bit more. Alright, let's bring Big Boy over here. Throw an impulse in there and just do that. Little knowledge is a dangerous thing. Well, again, like in his defense, sure, I'm making fun of him and it was ridiculous, but in his defense, yeah, if you want to hook it to your TV like you did your other systems, you absolutely needed the adapter. But the fact that we had literally 2 different ways, plus I think we had like an AV switch with like 4 different buttons. Somewhere, my dad had that for some reason. Like, we had tons of options, and we absolutely did not need it. So, it's just, it was one of those weird situations. It was fine, but still strange. And funny. Oh boy, this is not going to go well. I might live. Pretty sure I'm going to be the target of their hate. I wish I knew how much damage these both did. I'm gonna say the power attack does more. It might be enough if we hit the wolf, we might kill it. I doubt it, but maybe. We missed, right? We missed. Did we miss? What just happened? That's really bad. That starts us off in a very, very, very unfortunate situation. Oh, and she doesn't even have enough for a heal. Maplin may have been bought by... We're gonna check at some point. Okay. Oh, good. She healed them. Oh! They're mixing it up. I figured I would be the primary source of their hate, but it looks like they're going elsewhere. Okay, this is okay. I mean, it's not ideal, but it's fine. Starting to get pretty warm again. I think I can probably last at least another half hour before I turn the air conditioner back on. And once again, run the risk of the whole world ending. I'm really frustrated with it. Like, if it's on a solo breaker and it's because it's overheating or whatever the case is, if it's on its own little dedicated power and it pops a breaker, okay, that's fine. I'll let it cool down for a half hour and go return it on. But if it pops a breaker in the room and it shuts everything down, I can't have that. I cannot have that, so... Alright, I gotta figure out how we're gonna move this around. It's fine. Okay. The only computer, consumer electronics retail store, the advice is terrible and range poor. Yeah, we had... What did we have? We had Best Buy, which had some computer components. It was decent. Again, it was some of the more popular ones, and some that you wouldn't really want, like you didn't really know what you were doing, but it looked pretty type thing. So it had some stuff like that. It was basic, you know, just come in and get what you want type place. But it wasn't a specialty store. It had like electronics, like TVs and audio equipment, appliances. It was just kind of a big, just electronics boutique type store, right? Electronics boutique is a game store. It's just an electronics type store, right? They had a bunch of different things in there, home appliances and so on and so forth. And it was okay. Like I said, it had like video cards and memory and all this stuff. And in a pinch, you can go there, but you wouldn't usually find stuff that, if you know what you're doing and you want to build something good, that you could get. Now, it had some okay stuff. And back in the day, if you remember the Voodoo 3 2000 and stuff like that, back when that was like the end-all, be-all card of Doom, it had those. So that was good at least, right? It had like the card of cards. I feel like we're missing somebody out of the pack. We are. Furia is not with us. It's okay. Let's see what else. And then we had Comp USA, which had a bit more stuff. It was a little bit more specialized, right? I mean, it's kind of in the name, Comp USA. So you could find a few things there. It was usually a little bit more expensive, but I mean, it even had like video games and things of that nature. And then, hi Katie, what are you doing? You doing dog stuff? Yeah? Okay. Be good. Don't look at me like that. So Comp USA was a little bit more expensive. They had video games, but it was more tailored toward... It was still an electronics store. There was TV monitors, but it was also more geared toward computers. So you could find a little bit easier... You had a little bit easier time finding what you were looking for, specifically for computers. Well, Comp USA ended up getting bought out by Tiger Direct, so they actually turned... Oops. They actually turned the Tiger Direct... Sorry. The Comp USA store into a Tiger Direct store, which was different and pretty cool at the time, but then it turned out that it didn't really matter that much. Like, it was not, They would do the bait and switch. They would advertise stuff, and they would have low-end things and super high-end things, but the stuff, like, you would want, some of the medium grade, so, like, we'll say with a video card, like today's standards, or yeah, with today's standards. And video card, you know, you have from like the 1050s, maybe 1040s. So they have like the 1040, the 1050, and then they would have the 1080. But they wouldn't have the 60 or the 70, which is where most people usually will get their video cards. Now, if you have the money and you can afford the 1080, obviously go that route. But like me, I couldn't afford it when I got the 900 series. So I ended up with the 970. Just like before that, I had the 270 and I think a 570. I always ended up at that like one tier below the best that you could get because I just could never afford it, right? So they would always have like the stuff that most people would actually get not available in the store. So then you just still have to go onto their website and order it. So my dad got pretty frustrated with them pretty quickly. He was not a fan. Uh-oh. Katie, you okay? Katie? Alright, she seems okay. She started to do the weird sneeze thing again. Oh, baby. Why is her AP so low? I'm gonna hit this thing with some thunder. With some thunder! And then we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna hopefully cook this fool. Pretty sure we can do that. Cricket, rush, double edge, power attack? We'll see. So, Tiger Direct stores were there for a while. Again, bait and switch. They just never had the products that you wanted when you went into the store. Even though it was advertised, they just never had any. And eventually they just closed up shop because they just weren't effective, right? So that was kind of unfortunate. Alright, let's see here. Skill. We'll try double edge, I guess. I'd like to be able to drop this guy if possible. Oh, I did it! Barely. I've never dealt with it. Is there anything I ever bought from MSI? I don't think so. I don't think so. Didn't MSI used to... I don't remember what MSI is. I know they had motherboards. I thought they did video cards. And I'm sure they probably do like memory and all that stuff now. Like every company seems to do that just about. But I was always one who didn't like the ATI Radeon, which is now something else. I don't remember what it is. The Colonel was telling me that they got bought out by something else. Maybe it's MSI. Maybe they got bought out by MSI. MSI, oh, and one Republic of Gamers, yeah. Oh yeah, you weren't here. I didn't tell you the annoying news that I got about 3 days ago. I'll share that with you in a little bit. I'll let you finish your rant for now. It's always good to get that stuff off your chest, because Things can get real annoying real quick. I'm gonna go here. We seem to be fine, so I'm pretty happy with this. So Republic of Gamers is awesome. Isn't that Aces? Is it Aces? ROG? I'm trying to remember. It's been a long time. Yeah, it is, because that's actually, I have that too. I don't think it's bright enough, but my motherboards for my last two computers have been Asus Republic of Gamers, so I happen to have it right here next to me. Look at that. It's really good when they work too, by the way. Never get a motherboard that doesn't work. It's bad. It's infuriating, and replacement policy for ordering online things that are broken or dead on arrival sucks badly. Like, I understand why it has to be the way it is, but it doesn't change the fact that it's awful, and I hate every single thing about it. It's quite terrible. Anyhow, I mentioned this yesterday. So this week has been trying in some ways. It's been a good week and it's been a bad week all at the same time. My back is feeling better today. I woke up... Alright, so... Did a lot of yard work. I kind of told you this. Did a lot of yard work, housework, and at the theater we were doing a bunch of extra stuff, moving things around, lugging stuff here and there, and I had to do the stock order. So there was a bunch of stuff that I did, a lot more physical activity than normal. And that's all well and good. It's fine. Not a problem. But I went to sleep on Thursday night, and about halfway through sleeping, I woke up just to turn over, whatever. And kind of almost dead center of my back, maybe a little bit on the upper side of that. It just kind of hurts, like one of my discs just needs to pop or something, right? So that was uncomfortable. So Friday was kind of going to be a rough day, but I want to say on Wednesday, I got an email from Curse, Union for Gamers, my Curse network, my YouTube network, and they decided to inform me that they are going to break their partnership with me and end it. So I will no longer be a partner through Curse. Fantastic. I've passed up several offers from larger networks, several offers from smaller ones, several that were same deal, some that were better, and a lot that weren't as good. And I decided I was going to stay loyal to them through all of it, and I did. But apparently that doesn't mean a whole heck of a lot. So yeah, they're ending my partnership with them. So that kind of stung a little bit. I didn't really like that. I wasn't too happy with that whole scenario. Kind of bummed me out a little bit. Not gonna lie, kind of bummed me out just a little bit. So that happened. Then, of course, I had confirmation, and I did successfully register for Sega, so that was cool. But, of course, then the request game button thing doesn't work, so that wasn't cool. And then I emailed them. I think I got everything I wanted to say in a decent way, so I'm okay with that. But then on top of that, they're out of the office until Monday, so I have to wait. It's like, so many good and bad things. It's just been kind of like a very roller coaster weekend. Or, sorry, week. And then also, all the extra stuff that we did at the theater, cleaning up and all the other things, they have a health and safety inspection or whatever it is. They, twice a year, they have this person come in, look at all the stuff, make sure everything's up to whatever code that they have. And ours came in on Friday evening, and we passed with a 96.8, so all of our hard work was worth it, so that's cool too. Like I said, a lot of really good stuff, a lot of really crappy stuff, just kind of a very rocky week. I did the math, I counted, since I've redone my schedule, and I've been doing, the first 2 weeks, we're in the third week now, we've just ended it, we'll be starting the new week, the fourth week, tomorrow. The first 2 weeks, I did 90 videos that I uploaded onto YouTube, so over 45 hours of content. The next 2 weeks, so this week and the next week, it'll be about the same, and then I'm going to scale it back a little bit, but nowhere near as far back as it was before. So there'll still be a ton of content coming out, but I want to try to sit around somewhere between 30 and 35, maybe a little bit more here and there, but once I catch up with the kernel, I can, you know, I can comfortably do a little bit less. Like right now, a lot of it's just trying to catch back up with the Divinity Original Sin 2 with the kernel and all that stuff. So, let's see if I can kill this with, oops, if I can kill this without having to do anything special. I don't think we'll kill it, but we might hurt it enough to do something. Alright, so here's the rub, or why I guess it's good to be part of a network. First off, I was under the impression there's supposed to be some perks, and Curse really didn't have a lot of perks. There was some extra music I could use, but I don't want to use a bunch of different stuff. I just want to use like my theme music. I'd like to get a few more little things that I could use that are, you know, specific to me, as opposed to just generic music that everybody can use. So there's that. I was also under the impression that they're supposed to kind of like advertise for you and get you like a better deal for just various different things, but apparently that's not how it works. Do I have enough to do? I don't. I think I'll just let this sit. So, you know, again, I felt like maybe switching to another, like maybe they advertised my channel on other channels. So, like, when I was growing, I thought, you know, I'm doing well, but also my network is taking care of me and they're pushing me and, you know, I'm growing. That's just how I assume it works. I don't know for sure, but that's my thoughts. So then I'm like, you know, when things started to stagnate and I just wasn't growing as much anymore, I was, you know, starting to get curious, like, is there something they can do? Should I contact them and ask them? Like, what's going on? Did I do something to fall out of their favor? And this was, you know, this was months ago. This is not like a recent thing. But I just, you know, I shrugged and said, you know, I don't know. I don't know what's going on. So we'll try to figure it out as we, you know, we just go along and see what we can come up with. But like, I really, you know, I have no idea. I guess that works. So, the downside to the network, or here's another of the upsides. You know, if you want to make any money on YouTube, if you're not with the network, you have to make at least $100 free and clear. So it has to be $100 through all your ad revenue, everything else, and then they'll pay you that as a minimum. If you don't reach that in a month, you don't get anything. So one of the safety nets of the network, since it is kind of a fluctuating thing, some months you have higher views, some months you have lower, depending on, and same thing with ad revenue. Near Christmas, ad revenue goes up. January, it just plummets, right? And there's other months that it kind of goes up and down a little bit. So, yeah, it's supposed to basically be a safety net for you to not have to worry about meeting that minimum goal. Now, if I was a massive YouTuber and I was making $5,000 a month or something off, I don't think a lot of YouTubers do that, but so I was making like $500 a month off of just YouTube ads in general, then it wouldn't be a big deal. I don't know that I would even necessarily want to have a network because they take a percentage, right? Most networks take more than what Curse does. Curse was a 90-10 split, 90 going to me, 10 going to them. And there's a few others that also have that same split. But now, I said that the channel has stagnated a little bit. I've modified how I'm doing things. I'm putting out more content. My views are climbing again, but they have been a bit rocky. So over the last year, about 6 months, I've been just under the $100 mark. Now, again, for them, it might have been 3 months that I was under the $100 mark. Because if you take the 100% and then they take a 10%, and I'm only getting like 94, 96 or whatever, that means that it was over that to start with, right? So they were still getting the minimum that they required to make money. And as part of a network, since it's all under one umbrella type thing, even channels that have less, that are making less money, they're still covered because it's all under the one thing. It's confusing. But bottom line, they just, I guess I'm not lucrative enough to keep. I guess is just the way to say it, which sucks. And like that really bummed me out a lot. Like I was teetering on the edge of like, why am I even bothering at this point? I should just quit. Like everything is telling me this, and then I get a few encouraging emails from people and comments, and the numbers are going up again. And the Colonel says that he decided that he was going to try to find a better network himself, because he was getting like a 70-30 or a 80-20 split, and he just wanted to find one that was a little bit better. So he actually dropped his network, and he's like, just don't go with a network. You don't need it. So just do like me, just don't have a network for now, and it'll be, you know, it'll be fine. Don't worry about it. So nice to have some encouragement from the Colonel too. I'm just worried that if I don't make it to that, you know, magic 100 number, where's that going to put me? Like I'm already criminally underpaid when it comes to, you know, what I do from actual advertisers and everything else. That it's just, I don't know. It's fine. But yeah, that's just some of the stuff that I had to deal with this week. It's not been the best of weeks. It's not been the worst. It's just kind of a mess scenario. Alright, let's throw all that at him and kill him. They have a dashboard and stuff, which again you can get from a bunch of different sources, but like they have a dashboard, you can see, you know, how many views you had, how much money you're making through ads, and so on and so forth. So just kind of a more simplistic way. I just have it up on like one of my tabs all the time. I can just go and check. So, like I said, I've been a part of their network for 3.5 to 4 years. I'm having a little bit of a rocky time, but not. It's not like I'm dropped down to like getting $20 a month. I'm still right at the edge, but apparently it's just not worth it for them. Or, well, they also said, oh, YouTube is changing, blah, 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 we're not going to have to do this. I don't know. Like I said, disappointing, somewhat depressing, but it is what it is. I will tell you that I'm doing way better this time going through this than I did the last time. Last time I had a fair few deaths, and I had to use most of my recovery items. And since I'm going to be loading here in a minute, I feel like I could just keep going and waste a lot less, but I'm not going to. I think we have one more battle, and then we get to finally go to the event. And then there's like 4 more battles before we make it back. It's kind of ridiculous. And I don't even know if the event happens. I think it does. I think it's something like, oh good, we lost them at the pass, blah blah blah. But I want you guys to see what's going on. If I could skip these battles, I would. Because they're the same battle over and over, basically, and it's just super tedious at this point. Like, how many times can we fight 2 crabs, 2 wolves, and 2 of the other guys? This one actually looks scarier than the others. I don't know why. Maybe it's just the positioning. But either way, same situation. Yeah, I guess that's fine. Alright, there we go. Did any of that make even sort of sense? Well, honestly, I started looking through my emails just to see, because even a couple months ago, maybe 3 months ago, I still had some... And that's the other thing. Even though they know and there's a way of checking to see if you're part of a network, like all the other networks are just like constantly trying to steal from one another, right? So again, that's why I'm so annoyed. I guess maybe slightly hurt by this. It's I didn't jump ship when a better deal came along, just to only care about myself. Curse took me, I joined them, and I was gonna be loyal to them until it was oh, well, this doesn't make any sense. They're clearly not taking care of me, or whatever the case is, right? So for them to just be like, you're not worth it anymore, we're dropping you. Deuce, deuce. It's like, come on, man, really? Really, you guys gonna do me like that? That's how this is gonna end. Sucks. Sucks a little bit. let's do some impulse. That might be it's not gonna be enough. Fire will be enough. All right. I think someone dies in this fight. Actually, impulse would have been it'd be close. Let's see. Yep, it would have been enough. Dang it. Patreon's up and down a little bit. I think somebody's like information is wrong or whatever, it got declined. So I assume they just need to update that. And one of my patrons has stopped, but again, they were part of it for a long time. They were supporting me while I was doing something for them as well. So, you know, no hard feelings there. There's nothing wrong with that. And you know, they supported me for quite a while, and it's good. So I'm okay. It's not growing. I'm always hoping to see, you know, each week maybe like 1 or 2 new patrons, even if it's only like $1 or $2, you know, so you feel like something's happening, you know, like you're accomplishing something, you're growing. But it does not seem like that is indeed the case right now. Yeah, not necessarily a bad thing, it's just what's happening. Ooh, I don't feel like those are the right... let's do this. Oh, I can only do one. I think Ascendance does more than Thunder. Maybe not. She's got nothing. You got something. Oh, you're all alone. Alright. Do you have enough to take him down? Are you kidding me? Oh, it's so close. And he's gonna counterattack. And hard, too. Yeah. It's one of those things that like, it needs to be done. Like, I don't disagree with you. But at the same time, and they're gonna heal up. I knew that was gonna happen. If I didn't kill him, I knew he was gonna get healed. It's one of those things I don't want to have to bug people all the time. Like, even some of the channels I watch, they do Patreon videos, and they're like, everything. Oh, check out our Patreon for tiered rewards and this and that, and like every single time, and I'm just like, I don't want to be that guy. I don't want to hear that all the time. I don't want other people to have to listen to it. It's annoying. Like I get it. It's an annoying thing. Actually, how much AP? Probably not gonna have enough. Do I have enough for an item with you? That'll help. Might not be enough to carry the day, but it'll help. Okay, another heal. That's fine. Yeah. And again, people, I don't know. A lot of people think that that's the only reason anybody does stuff on YouTube is to make a bunch of money. Like, it didn't start off as a thing that was ever going to be viable for me. It was, I love video games. I play them. I can't work at this time. I was going through immigration. I wasn't able to work in Canada. So if I'm doing all this stuff, why not go have a YouTube channel? Just have fun, share what I do with other people. And then I started getting ingrained in the, you know, talking with the developers, the publishers, and some other YouTubers, and doing it more and more. And I loved it. And I still love it. And, you know, I'm now, I don't want to say like, I'm ingrained or like I'm an integral part, because I don't feel that's true, but I am a part of the video game scene and like the community and everything else, and I definitely want to continue with it, but I don't know. I don't know where to go from here exactly. Again, time's ticking, and we'll see where we end up at the end of the day, but we'll see. We'll see. And again, getting little bits of success is also a terrible, terrible thing, too, because up until, we'll say, I was probably doing it 3 to 8 months, I don't remember the exact time frame. 3 to 8 months, I had less than 100 subscribers. Still putting out nowhere near the content I am now, or nor as good, I think. Probably wasn't as good. Anyhow, it wasn't until Xenonauts where it really took off. It really started to click or come together or whatever you want to call it. So with Xenonauts, I got from like 77 or 70 or something like that to about 1,200 subscribers through the course of Xenonauts. And then the next one was Battle Brothers. There was a little bit with Massive Chalice, and then of course the Hom series was the big one that kind of brought it home for me. That was the one where I really, I don't know if I want to say came into my own, but like it started to click and it became, you know, viable, and that's where I grew to like over 7,000 subscribers, and things were starting to really go well for me. And there was that, you know, that first taste of success, really, that hey, maybe I can make this work, maybe it, you know, it's something that I can do. And then it never stopped being about the things it originally was about, but now it's, I put in all this time, this energy, this effort. I've put in a lot of my own money, and yes, I've made probably a little bit more than that back, but that's not a living, that's just basically paying for a hobby, right? And I definitely feel with the amount of energy, effort, time, and everything that I put into this, it should be way more than a hobby at this point. So yeah, I'd like to be successful, be able to make a decent amount of money each month, and be able to just do this and not have to go, okay, well, I need to get another part-time job, I need to get this, I can only dedicate this much time to it, I'm going to sleep less and work more, you know. Like right now, it's work and sleep. It's working at the theater or working on YouTube in some capacity, and then sleeping. There's a little bit of time here and there, maybe an hour, hour and a half a day, if I'm lucky, that I spend just relaxing. And most of that is still while I'm doing other things that are work-related. So, again, it'd be nice to actually get something out of all this. And I have awesome people like you, Liven, and like Commissar, and several others that do support me, and it's an awesome feeling. Really, it's really cool. I mean, there's nothing I can say that can really describe how that feels. So again, thank you guys. But I just wish that YouTube itself was more sustainable. It used to be a lot better than it is now. Like when the adpocalypse hit, because stupid people are stupid and acting like a bunch of morons, they ruined it for everybody. Like I was making at least 30 to 45% more than I was making, or I started making after that. Like it was literally a 30% pay cut because dumb people are dumb. And that's just, it's hard to swallow, right? It's hard to swallow that people acting like idiots just ruined it for a whole bunch of people. I should really heal first. Sorry. Let's see here. Yeah, skill. Like before that, it wasn't, you know, a tremendous amount of money, but I was never in danger of not making at least 100 a month just from YouTube. So I mean, like honestly, I'm making almost double off of Patreon as I am off of what I get from YouTube, and I still haven't made enough off of Twitch to even get paid once, which is fine. Again, Twitch is something that it will probably grow over time. I'm not in any rush to do it. I made affiliate and I can do a few things. I think it's cool, and I'm trying to be somewhat consistent. And again, if I ever get to the point where I can do YouTube stuff and whatnot full time, 100% guarantee you guys I will be switching up my let's see, what is it, my scheduling. I will probably be streaming every day of the week and not on the weekends, and probably a bit earlier. I would just change things. It would just be a different format basically, and I think it would probably work a little bit better. And I'd be able to stream often enough that I would be, let's see how to phrase it. Let's see if that's enough to kill this guy. Right now, if I make it to every single one of my streams and I do everything that I'm supposed to do, and I stream for the full 2 hours or what have you, even if I had the people, like the amount of viewers and whatnot, I wouldn't have enough to make a partner with Twitch, which again, at this point, it's less important than it used to be, because with the affiliate program, you can still do most of the same things that you can do as a partner. But I'd like to be able to stream, you know, 5 days a week, just go in, stream for like 2-3 hours, still have enough time to do all the stuff on YouTube, and you know, how many views? I don't know, man. I don't know, my views have been, they've been declining, like I said, but again, the last 2 weeks and then this week and next week, we'll see. That's going to be like full-time, like, that's, putting out that much content is where I'd like to be, roughly. Maybe between 37 and 45, like, that area would be perfect for me to do this full-time, as far as how many videos I'd like to do each week. But right now, my views are only around, like, 110K, maybe. And as of, like, I would say, I don't remember, just give me a second, take a look. Give me one moment here. My views were, basically last year, they're at July, last year, they were at about 205,000. So yeah, I'm about half of where I was. And then they dropped off after July into August, and they dropped all the way down to 130, down to 118. Then I started to climb back up to 128, and then down to 112, which was the lowest it had been for a long time. Then I clawed my way back to 134, 145, 136, a little bit of a dip there. Then back up to 170 in March of this year. I'm like, alright, this is cool. And then it's been a steady decline once again. 138, 116, and then 101K. I never went out of the 6 digits, but it's not enough. Honestly, if I get 5 times the amount of views that I have, I think things will start to be a little bit easier, and maybe I could even change my other work schedule. And instead of working 4 days a week, maybe work 3 days a week, and then commit 4 days a week here. Like, depending on how much I can... it's just so frustrating, man. It really is. It's like I'm almost there, but I'm not. And I don't know how to fix it. I don't know. But I am trying to bring back some stuff that I know people really enjoyed, like the Xenonauts Let's Play. I am going to be bringing back Battle Brothers soon. I know I keep putting it off, but I'm trying to find... I won't say the right time, that's not accurate. I'm trying to find when I'm going to be ready for doing that. Something where I can do it consistently and it not become like an extra burden, because Battle Brothers takes a lot out of me. I love the game, I really enjoy playing it, but it can be stressful. It can be a very stressful game. I want to make sure I'm like mentally prepared to go into it and actually try to finish it off of the season I'm already on. So, yeah. And like I said, I feel bad because I know there's a bunch of people who are fans. I know that not everybody can give, and you know, I keep trying, and stuff just keeps popping up to drag me down a little bit. But like I said, I'm throwing everything I have into the ring. I'm giving it my all until basically it's November, I think 2nd or 3rd. At that point, we're gonna have to assess, is it something I can keep doing at any regular interval? So what will likely happen if it's not viable, I will still be doing stuff on YouTube, but the content's probably gonna shrivel up to like 2 videos a day, maybe looking at 15 videos a week, if that, and it's just gonna be whenever I have free time. I'll either have to get like a couple of part-time jobs at that point, or find a full-time job if that's possible, and just roll with that. Like I said, it's not the ideal situation, to be sure. It's like, you know, you're so close, and yet you're not there, and I don't know. Oh, please don't kill him. Oh, you attacked her. That was a weird choice. Don't know why? Not really complaining. Do you think the crab gets to go again? Or do you think you already used everything? Let's see. He might have another attack. I'm gonna use an item. Ooh, what if he attacks her? I'm gonna roll the dice. He attacked him. What? Well, if he attacked either one of the 2 people that were hurt, he might have actually killed one of them. But he chose not to. Very weird. Do you buy promotion on YouTube? No. No. It's... Well, that's the thing. Alright, and then there's the... then there's people who try to help, and again, I appreciate people who are trying to help as far as And this has nothing to do with what you're suggesting. But there's people who are like, oh, well, you know why you're not succeeding? I'm like, oh, okay, yes. Explain to me why I'm not succeeding, person who's not on YouTube. And I know I'm going to sound really snarky and rude, and I don't mean to. But, like, I'll explain why I'm saying what I'm saying and what they're saying, and you'll understand what I'm talking about and why I'm phrasing it the way I am and saying it the way I am. So, people have this, this font of knowledge, all this wonderful advice that they're going to give me on why I'm not, succeeding on YouTube. Which, again, if there was merit to it or what have you, sure, no problem. I'd get down to I'd be down with that. That's totally fine. But here's the problem with that. First off, they're not on YouTube, so they don't have a clue. Again, that's not the important part. The important part is they'll say, this is almost always the response where people say that I'm not succeeding in how to be successful. They say that I need to cover more popular games. And they don't realize what that means and why that's not going to work. Alright. So, we're gonna pull back the veil a little bit here and give you guys a little bit of YouTube knowledge for all you guys watching at home. If you're covering a game like, say, Heroes of Might and Magic 7, where there may be a dozen people who are covering Heroes of Might and Magic 7. There are a lot of strategy fans and people that do like that game. Is it the most mainstream? Absolutely not. Of all the people who play video games, maybe 2% know of HOM. Maybe a few more, maybe a few less. I don't know. It's not a super popular game, but it does have its fans. So if I'm one of a dozen people covering this, and I happen to be one of the best or better people covering it, that doesn't mean I'm great at the game or I'm the best in the world at playing it. I'm not saying that. But of the people who are doing coverage of it, if I'm the best or amongst the best of those, being number 1 or 2 out of 12 gives me a much better chance to shine or to be seen when you're searching for Heroes of Might and Magic 7 or Might and Magic Hero 7. I'm one of 12 people doing it, and I'm doing it better. More people are watching. They check out so-and-so, and they're like, oh, he's okay. Oh, who's this guy? Oh, he's much better at this. I like his style. I like this. I like that. Right there. Boom. Much easier to be found. If I go to cover Dota 2, which I've done and it does not work, if I go to cover Fortnite or Call of Duty or any of those other games, unless I'm like ranked number 1 or top 100 in the world where like they can show my rating and I'm doing live streams and people are like, oh yeah, this guy, he's a pro, and like I'm doing like pro tournaments and my name is out there, there's very little chance that I'm ever going to be anywhere near the top like 100 pages. So we're talking like the top 1,000 videos. I'm not even going to be in there. So when you go to search for Dota 2 or Fortnite or any of those other things, I'm not even going to show up till like page 197 or further, which is already through thousands upon thousands upon thousands of videos. Unless I'm already a massive YouTuber or I'm known for that game in like community, Reddit, and all this other stuff, I'm never going to be seen. It's stupid. It's impossible to get known for that. So, like, it literally makes no sense to say you're not playing popular enough games. Now, I do realize that, yes, I have 10,000, almost 11,000 subscribers at this point. And, if I do well at a more popular game, maybe that can trickle over and I can grow a little bit. But when you're starting out, and even at my size, which is not big by any stretch of the imagination, it's just not viable. You have to find that niche, something that you do well that probably is around the same stuff that you do. That's why I tend to do better with strategy games and things of that nature, just like Colonel RPG does a little bit better with RPG games and a lot of other titles that he does. Because that's what we're known for. That's what our community likes. That's the people that are already watching, our viewers or subscribers that are already watching that stuff, and they go, oh yeah, that game, I know, yeah, I want to check that out. Oh, Colonel's doing that, or oh, Bumpy's doing that, and they'll check it out. Versus, I may be shooting myself in the foot a little bit, but I think in the long run it's better. But that's why I try to diversify and try all these different genres out. So if somebody likes strategy games, but it's like, I kind of like it, but I prefer fighting games. Oh, Bumpy's doing fighting games. It's a little bit for everyone. And while I might not succeed at like all of these things, there's at least a little bit of variety, and I get to kind of have my fingers in a bunch of pies, so to speak, and get to try out a bunch of different things that I still enjoy. I tend to play games that I like as opposed to games that I don't like. There's been a few that I haven't been thrilled with, but I decided to try them out. But that's pretty much it. That's pretty much, I mean, that's how YouTube works at this point. So until you get to the like massive, 500,000, a million, 2 million subscribers, you have to stick to what you're good at and what you know and things that you do that people are going to like, as opposed to just going, oh, well, I'm just going to play, I'm going to start a new YouTube channel and only play Fortnite. Good luck. You're going to have 0 subscribers for a long time. There's a very, very small chance you're going to succeed. There are some tricks and things you can do, like clickbait, thumbnails of beautiful women, we'll say, or weird titles like Dragon Ball Z and Fortnite, and people are like, what? And then they'll click on it and it has nothing to do with that at all. It's just something that is there. So people, stuff like that will get a bit more things, and then, I don't know. I'm just an honest person trying to do my best. So, like I said, I appreciate people wanting to help me, but they don't know and they don't understand a lot of it. And again, I'm not being mean, and I'm not, oh, these people are stupid or anything like that. That's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying that people don't realize some stuff that's like very obvious right in front of their face. And then when you explain it out, they're like, oh yeah, that makes sense. So, I feel like a complete jerk when I say stuff like that, but like, it's pretty obvious what's going on, right? Like, nothing I said sounds like illogical or wrong. Like, it's how it is. So, but yeah, it's really hard, and that's some of the other stuff. Sometimes you just get lucky. Like the Xenonauts, it was all a luck thing. I happened to have a video up at the right time between when other people were doing it and before they really started. Like, I started while it was still in beta at the time, and people who had covered the beta covered it like a few months before. So I hit like the perfect time of doing it, and I did several videos of it, and it was before anybody else really started because they were waiting for the release. So I hit this like magic window where I had new stuff, and it was where people were starting to get hyped for Xenonauts right before release. And like I said, it was just like the universe opened up and said, I'm giving you this spot, and it worked. And like I said, from 70-ish subscribers to over 1,200, it was fantastic. And I'm talking like 2-3 months, which again doesn't sound very fast, but when you're at 70 and you've already been doing it for somewhere between 3 and 8 months, that's massive. So yeah, it is what it is, folks. It is what it is. I don't know how I want to advance with this. I want to heal people up, but I also want to just go and get some kills here. So I know I've diverged a lot from just playing the game, but sometimes it's nice just to have a conversation, talk about stuff, and distract me from the heat. I'm feeling it again, but it's okay. I'll probably make it through the end of the stream. Alright, let's see if we can't get through this. Dazzle Blade, probably enough to finish you. Wait a minute. I can do Howling Blade? Oh, I can do Howling Blade. Oh, yes. Oh, this is going to maybe be glorious. Watch this. It hits all 3. Oh, this is... Alright. We got this. It's not your fault. I don't mind talking about stuff like this, Liven. I don't always... I don't always break everything down or reply to every single comment that I get from YouTube, because there's a lot of them, and I'm only one person, and that wouldn't quite be a full-time job. My comments aren't that overwhelming. But I do read all of them. That's another thing that people are, often unaware of. Even if I don't respond, I do read every single comment, so if you guys have something to say, I will see it. So be relieved on that front, I guess. Let's see here, anything else? There we go. Let's just kind of throw a whole bunch of stuff in here. Oh, she's already doing trip hit. Okay, that's fine. There we go. So I read every comment, and I see this. Sometimes I try to go in and explain this stuff in detail to people, but again, it's one of those things that, yeah, it sounds so easy. Play more popular games, but you have to think. If you're in a pool of about 12, maybe 20 people covering the game, that's maybe not super popular, but does have a fan base, and you do well at that, you're more likely to be found and get people who enjoy what you do, and then they'll check out other stuff, and it will just kind of all compound upon itself from there. Whereas if you're a small YouTuber and you go and you play a game that has literally thousands, possibly tens of thousands of people doing coverage of it, you're just going to get buried on, super far down the list, page 100, page 200 of the YouTube searches, or Google searches, or whatever, and you're just not going to ever get found. Your content could literally be better than every single other person who's ever done the game. Like, your commentary is on point, you're hilarious, you literally are the perfect person for YouTube. And no, I'm not saying that I am, I'm just saying, you could literally be the greatest person ever, but if people cannot find your videos, you're not going to grow. It doesn't matter what you do. You have to break through that initial thing. That's why even getting to this point is just, it's a miracle to me. It's awesome, and I love that I've managed to get to this point. I thought once I hit 10K that, instead of growing like this, nice, steady, slow growth, it would go much more vertical. Maybe not skyrocket, but, from like a 15-degree angle to maybe like a 30 or 45-degree angle, but it's actually kind of just petered out a little bit. So I don't really have a solution to that, but that is where we're at right now. And I'm doing some stuff now, and the numbers feel like they're doing better. I'm seeing better numbers on the videos. I am seeing which videos are doing better as well. So when I make my next 2-week my next 2-week schedule, I'm going to tweak it a bit to try to get some of the things that are a bit more watched, a little bit more time to shine. So, like, I'm making the adjustments to hopefully make the channel stronger and better in the future. But still. Look through Twitch and you get UK viewer figures and you're blown away by some of the numbers, like Truck Simulator. Oh, I know, it's crazy, right? And I know this is a niche game, and I never really expected this to, like, bring in, I mean, it's like 2 people right now. I never expected it to bring in giant numbers of people, and in all honesty, I will start becoming sad when we have 100, 200, 300, 500, whatever people, if we get to that point. Because, one-on-one conversations, or even like, like when we have a dozen people in here, 20 people, it gets a little lively. People are talking back and forth. It's okay. I can still read it. I can still, catch most things. It's fine. I enjoy it. But when we start getting like hundreds of people and they want to be heard and they're going to start spamming stuff, and it's going to be awful, and I'm not going to enjoy it. Like, when I watch any kind of esports event, I immediately turn off comments. I don't want to see any of it. It's just garbage. I hate it so much. So when I get to that point, it's going to be so sad for me, because I don't want to have to hate chat. It's going to be bad. It's going to be so bad. And I just... Like I said, I don't want to rush anything, but I'm almost at the 5-year mark between YouTube and this. And at some point, something has to happen, right? You either have to say, alright, I've done my best and this is where we're at. Or it just succeeds and we go from there. I don't know. I do believe this should be far enough. Are you sure? No, not really, but it does feel right. You are nothing short of impossible. Do you even listen? Do you even listen to yourself? Listen to yourself. As you can tell, I'm a little bit parched. Furia, I do believe you would be the perfect woman if you weren't yelling all the time. If you could muster the proper gravitas from time to time, you might be bearable. Hey, I'm the object of your affection. Maybe, eventually. Perhaps you are right. Yeah, it's just finding the next universe opens up and gives me the slot. I'm hoping to find it. Maybe it's Shining Resonance Refrain. Maybe it's the return to Battle Brothers. Maybe when I start HOM 5, that's going to blow up huge. I don't know. It could come from anywhere. Could even be from one of my first look videos that I decide to maybe do more of. Somebody's like, you know, because a lot of those get a lot of likes, a lot of views and stuff. So oftentimes I feel bad that I'm only doing a one-off video, but at least I'm getting eyes on the game for the developer, and people are like, oh, that was cool. I like that. I'm going to check that game out. I'm going to play it. Like, again, that's what this has been about for me for the longest time. Once I started seeing that, like, people were watching what I was doing, it was about getting eyes on video games for the developers and publishers and everything else. You know, I'm enjoying playing them. I want to show them off and let other, you know, hopefully inspire other people to want to play them, whether it's because I'm terrible at the game and they just want to play it better, or because I am making it seem fun or enjoyable, or whatever the case is. If people go out and they buy the game because of something that I did, that's awesome. I love that, and that's why that's the main reason I do what I do. The second one that's a close second is that I do want to entertain people. And of course the third would be, you know, third and fourth would be, you know, I enjoy it, have fun, it gives me something to do, and of course if I can make money with it, it'd be great. So those are my, you know, entertain people and get people to want to, you know, interact, engage, buy the product. I love video games. It's great. What now, Leo? I dare say this will never work as long as we have the bracelet. He will know where we are. Still, we have bought a small portion of time, at least. We have skirted the town and put many miles between him and us. It is high time we return to Regulus. At least there we will have the protection of the army. Right now I have so many titles that have been sent my way that I'm going to, basically right now I'm just doing like one first look video a week. But I think what I'm going to do once I catch up with Divinity Original Sin 2, I'm going to try to do 2 a week and kind of get through the backlog of a lot of the just games that have been sent my way. So something you can look forward to coming up today, tonight, tomorrow morning, whatever, is going to be Regions of Ruin. If you haven't seen that, it's a kind of a fun game. I do wish I could play a little bit more of it, but I know I don't have the time right now. So again, maybe one day I can circle back to some of these games, but for now, what will we do, Leo? It is your decision. We make for Regulus or we make for the Castros Mountains? I'm going for Regulus. I want to get back to town. The link gauge moved toward light. Yeah! Ooh, she likes me now. Ooh, she really likes me. Look at her all blushing on me. She's like, you're so sexy. I don't know about that, but you know, I'm a good guy. I'm a good guy. Look, I have a little bit of blue in my light neutral gauge thing of doom. All right, so we're going to Regulus. Gradamas's army concerns me. We make for Regulus. Then there's no time to waste. Alright, so now I can skip all the next, like, 10 battles that would take another 2 hours to do. Alright, this is only 3. Sure felt like more than that. Anyhow, I'm going to actually just load at this point. I'll do a save. Because like I said, I fought up to this point so much better than I did when I did this on my own. Like, I did terrible on my own, and I don't know why. So there, we just fought those 3 battles instantly. And this is basically where I ended up at. Gotta be up in 5 hours, you'll say goodnight, and see you tomorrow. Alright, man. Have a good night, Liven. I'm going to probably finish up in the next 5 to 15 minutes anyway. But essentially, we just jumped there. Now, here's something, before you leave, that I don't understand. Alright, I can move here to Regulus, but I can't... Oh, I can now. Well, that's frustrating. Like, earlier, I could not move back. I'm using the D-pad now. It's not letting me. And there we go. If I use, like, I have to come from here and I have to hold down and to the left. And see, I can't, I can barely get back to this spot. It's super frustrating. I hate it. I actually had to go with the mouse because there's a cursor. I had to click here earlier just to get off of the event spot. It's pretty funny. I don't know. So the little weird bubble things, they're okay, but they can definitely be frustrating. So what I think I'm going to do is, again, while I'm uploading and rendering and stuff tonight, I will probably go and just do a couple of those battles off in the cave just to get a couple of extra levels, maybe unlock some new equipment and whatnot. But you know what? I think I'll just break it off here. You're going to bed, so this way you won't miss anything. And we're pretty much right where I was before. I'm gonna do the event, and then I'm gonna kill it. So let's see what happens here. Because I want to be able to go into the shop and everything here in Regulus. I see that you are indeed worthy of my patronage, Golden Leo. I am indeed. Your words are kind, but misplaced. Without my companions, I would certainly have failed. It seems as though Gradamas has lost a fine general. Indeed. Will you now send reinforcements to the frontier? Of course, the army is ready. I shall give them the order to march on Zelzagun immediately. Thank you, Your Majesty. I will lead the attack on Zelzagun Fortress. I am concerned for the frontier. With our forces combined, we may at least have an advantage of numbers. I will leave this in your hands then. Our army will follow closely behind. Come on. Thank you. Your Majesty, I have a request. Why, woman? Why? Speak. Speak. I humbly request a vacation. Excuse me? I take it you mean to accompany Leo. I do. You have been so kind to me, Your Majesty. I know it is a selfish request, but... Look at me, child. Is that blush I see on your cheeks? You love him, do you not? You look well. You have left the past behind and found your place. You have my blessing. Leo, please look after Luana. Of course. Luana, you are welcome here anytime this is your home after all. Oh, thank you, Your Majesty. And it is time for us to leave. Take care of yourselves. And scene. And I think that's it. Unless... Yeah, that's it. Alright, cool. We're back here. Alright, so this is where I'm going to break it off, Liven. If you did stay for the last minute or two there, awesome. If not, that's cool too. I just don't want to be stuck having to not use Regulus as my base of operations.